snow.
When you're inside, it's not bad, but being out here, this crap's not a lot of fun.
While tornadoes strike the south, destroying homes and upending lives.
I'm just kind of in shock, but my family's all right.
Record rainfall damages homes in Hawaii.
Mother Nature wins, and she wants you, she takes you.
Meet the man who some say killed the planet Pluto.
I got hate mails. I got obscene phone calls.
And we're going green on this St. Patrick's Day with weather forecasts as some of the nation's biggest celebrations.
From our nation's capital, this is the National Weather Desk.
And good morning. Welcome to the National Weather Desk. I'm Angela Brown. Sunday and Monday were days of weather extremes across the country, across the nation. In the south, tornadoes destroyed homes and ripped roofs off buildings, and in the northern plains, a record-setting blizzard brought feet of snow just days before the start of spring. All of that snow, combined with the strong winds, created whiteout conditions, making driving near impossible. It also knocked out power to more than 100,000 homes and businesses in Michigan. And the snow drifts were so big, they reached the top of garage doors, leaving, as you can see there, quite the impression behind. Now check out some of these snow totals. Over 24 hours, Mount Arvon in northern Michigan recorded 39 inches of snow. Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin had 33 inches. 31 inches fell in Wausau, and Green Bay got 26 inches, the most the city has seen in 136 years. Bryn Krumholz is in Titletown with reaction.
Most businesses closed in hopes of keeping people safe. Plenty who ventured out found themselves similar to this driver, helplessly spinning their wheels.
And me go help.
Jack Resto and his truck have been trying to help as much as they can.
People me watching the store, you need help? Okay, may help people.
How many cars have you pulled out?
It's now 6 cars now.
There's no school, yet we couldn't find one person at Fireman's Park, home to arguably the city's most popular sledding hill. Green Bay East High School teacher Brad Reister hopes the added day off will be more than enough.
For the most part, I've been out shoveling, taking it about an hour out, a couple hours in, another hour out, and repeat.
A formula followed by many.
Well, the Coast Guard rescued a man from an ice shelf during the blizzard. It happened Sunday on Lake Huron near Mackinac Island, Michigan. Crews made their way to the man, then pulled him on a cutter which brought him to land. Now, rescuers say he had mild hypothermia, but right now is in stable condition. And this morning, many of you woke up to bitter cold temperatures. Lows were in the single digits or below zero across the plains and below freezing to the East Coast. Temperatures will remain below normal, but will start to warm up before spring officially begins on Friday. And now to that severe weather that pushed across the east yesterday. The good news is that it was not as severe and destructive as initially feared. In fact, the Storm Prediction Center registered just one tornado report near downtown Charlotte, North Carolina. The EF0 tornado with winds of 85 miles per hour ripped a roof off of a warehouse. Not far away, the wind sent a tree crashing and power lines, which started a small fire next to a home. Everyone inside, though, managed to get out safely. Well, there were 9 reported tornadoes on Sunday, including this one right here in southern Tennessee. At least 10 homes in Bonnertown are damaged or destroyed. The National Weather Service estimates the winds were between 86 and 110 miles per hour. Chris Null spoke with the man whose home was destroyed.
Many families here in Lawrence County are picking up the pieces of what they can that were left behind from Sunday night storm. This home right here, the homeowner tells me he was sitting inside asleep when the storm winds threw him out of his bed. As you can see, his home is severely damaged, knocked off of his foundation. And not only this home, but many other homes. One other homeowner tells me they just put their home in place Friday, brand new mobile home, double wide. Now, one part of that home sits across the street, and the other part of that home sits across the pond.
I'm just kind of in shock, but my family's all right, and we're fortunate. The Lord blessed us.
And many other areas here in Lawrence County are dealing with the same type of devastation. Lots of debris scattered everywhere, many trees uprooted, some split, lots of insulation. and many families are trying to recover right now.
It's emotional.
Yeah, it is emotional. So I told some friends last night to come up here, and I said, right now I can't talk. I don't know what to say. I'm kind of in shock.
Families have been out here all day, again, picking up those pieces of what they can and trying to recover what they can during this devastating time.
A critical tornado tracking tool is back online this morning. CNN reporting FEMA let a $200,000 contract expire last month. It was for mapping tool. It was a mapping tool that pinpoints a tornado's path of destruction within minutes, helping responders find hard-hit neighborhoods quickly. After news broke over the weekend, FEMA contacted the company to restore that service. Well, people in parts of Hawaii are dealing with the aftermath of powerful storms. That includes widespread power outages, closed businesses, traffic disruptions, and flooding. Raging floodwaters destroyed a couple's dream home in Maui. Their house was swept away by a swollen river after more than 40 inches of rain fell over 5 days.
Mother Nature wins, and she wants you, she takes you. She didn't take us, she just took the house. So we're grateful for that. We have each other, and we're doing fine.
Well, the couple was not home when the house fell into the river and say they are focused on cleaning up and rebuilding. Light rain is still in the forecast for much of Hawaii over the next several days. A mix of warming temperatures and rising snow levels is increasing the risk for avalanches in the Pacific Northwest. This comes just days after a man rescued a skier partially buried in deep snow. He told Michelle Esteban he hopes his video of the rescue will help others in time for this latest avalanche warning.
There is a sleeping giant lurking here. The same mountains that lure you to them could turn on you, and quickly. A recent epic snowfall combined with incoming rain and warming temps could let loose dangerous, even deadly avalanches. The Northwest Avalanche Center has issued an avalanche warning and put the risk at high for the Snoqualmie Pass area. Dry snow will turn wet and become unstable.
This guy okay?
That epic snowfall brought 70 inches of new snow, which has already led to this rescue on a ski run at Summit Central.
You okay?
Video of that rescue of a skier buried head first is going viral, exactly what Ian Deans was hoping for. Not for notoriety, but for safety.
Your instinct and all the training that we do in avalanche training is like get to their face as fast as you can so that at least they can breathe.
30 seconds later, success.
You okay? You okay? You okay?
Yeah.
Dean's a professional skier who was shooting video of Friday's epic snowfall for the ski resort when he and a friend noticed the skier's legs sticking out of the snow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Dean said he hopes this post will reinforce how quickly conditions can change even at a ski resort and how vital it is to ski or snow travel with others and not just within eyesight but earshot.
Audibly, you need to be able to hear them, or they need to be able to hear you if you're screaming, and then to have a plan, like if something goes sideways, are you able to help me?
That rescued skier told Deans he suddenly fell while skiing and plunged head first into 3+ feet of snow that felt like concrete.
So I don't think that really hit him until like I was digging him out, and he said like until you're like feverishly digging me out, I didn't realize like, hey, this could go south pretty quick here.
And of course, today is St. Patrick's Day, so let's check out the weather forecast for some of the biggest celebrations taking place today. And we start in the Big Apple, which hosts the oldest and largest St. Patrick's Day parade in the world. 2 million people will line Fifth Avenue, where it will be windy and cool with highs around 40 degrees. Now, the St. Patrick's Day parade in Savannah, Georgia, dates back to 1824, and it's one of the largest after New York and, of course, Chicago. 350,000 visitors are expected along the 3-mile route. They will see clouds and sun throughout the day with highs in the lower 50s. Well, Cleveland's parade is celebrating its 150th anniversary this year. It kicks off just after 1 p.m. along Superior Avenue, and people need to really bundle up for this one. It will be cloudy and windy with a couple of snow showers. You'll see some snow. Highs will be only in the mid-20s. And Hot Springs, Arkansas will host what it calls the world's shortest St. Patrick's Day parade. It's just 98 feet long down Bridge Street. Good news is that it will be dry but cloudy. Highs will be in the low 50s. We'll be right back.
I'm meteorologist Charlie Lopresti with a look at the Northeast. Last night's heavy rain is making its way off to the east this morning. Many areas are seeing a return to some sunshine and a welcome return to some sun. And the early morning temps in the 40s and 50s in New England, that's moving out. Cooler air is moving in on a stiff westerly wind. We'll see a lot of sunshine Tuesday, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Most towns will be around 40 degrees. We'll start the day with a lot of sun on Wednesday with a few clouds increasing during the afternoon. Look for highs in the 30s.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Gerard Jabali. Here's a look at the Mid-Atlantic region. A cold Tuesday for everyone as we'll see mostly dry conditions, save for maybe a mountain snow shower. Not likely to accumulate much of anything, but we'll be talking about the colder air lingering around and maybe even a touch of sunshine going into your Wednesday. But those temperatures are going to be a lot colder. We may be seeing highs stuck in the 20s to low 30s and maybe even low 40s for highs for your Tuesday, but that will also happen again on Wednesday.
Hi, meteorologist Jennifer Collins with a look at your southeast forecast. A chilly afternoon for parts of the southeast with temperatures in the 40s and 50s from the Carolinas to Georgia and the northern Gulf Coast remaining in the mid-50s. The 60s for most of central and south Florida. A cool afternoon. After the cold front boundary crossed the area late on Monday, this will usher in a drier weather heading into Tuesday with a few passing clouds for parts of South Florida. The chance for some snowfall for parts of northern Alabama and Tennessee heading through Wednesday.
You are watching the National Weather Desk.
Farmers in South Carolina are dealing with drought conditions. Cameron Lyons spoke with growers to find out how it's impacting their crops.
As the low country starts to feel warmer weather, farmers are looking for rain.
But that's what I'd like to see on my pastures is about an inch a week.
According to our meteorologists, we've seen 2 inches of rain this year. And the lack of rain has caused some farmers to move indoors.
With the drought that's going on, it doesn't affect us at all because our water is pulled out of the well. We grow 4 species at the moment. We grow lion's mane, blue oyster mushrooms, black pearl king trumpets, which are these, and then golden enoki, which are on the other side.
Nathan Hood, chef turned farmer, is seeing incredible growth.
As we are controlled environment agriculture, we can do this and provide fresh, perfect mushrooms year round.
The farm completely unaffected by the drought, and sales are doing anything but drying up.
And now we're at 1,200 pounds a week and we're still pushing it, so we're still growing.
While rain would be great for farmers in South Carolina, not all rain is the same. Meteorologist Joy Bettenhausen tells us about acid rain.
Have you ever thought about how we get acid rain? Well, we need sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide to essentially be emitted into the atmosphere and mix with our wind and air currents. The sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide react with water, oxygen, and other materials, leading to sulfuric and nitric acid. So you have these two acids, they eventually mix with water and make their way back down to the Earth's surface. A very small portion of the sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide actually come from volcanoes, but the large majority of it come from fossil fuels, when you think of either coal plants or oil refineries. Acid rain itself is not necessarily harmful for humans. It's more of the sulfate and nitrate pollutants that get thrown into the atmosphere. Those can be harmful if we breathe those in, like affecting heart health. We really see the effects of acid rain on fish and wildlife. And as you can see below, there are some organisms that can't survive past a certain level on our pH scale. Now, thankfully, we don't see issues arise from acid rain all across the country. Good soil packs can actually neutralize the acidity in rainwater, thus sparing trees, plants, ecosystems, and stream waters.
For generations, Pluto was the 9th planet. Then a discovery by an astronomer, Mike Brown, helped force a decision that changed the solar system and made him the target of backlash. He sat down with meteorologist Emily Gracie to talk about his role in that moment and what it was like to suddenly become known as the man who killed Pluto.
Pluto was discovered in 1930. Nothing else was discovered beyond Neptune until 1992. 1992, one very small object, 100 kilometers across, was discovered beyond Neptune, but it was discovered in a search that covered just a tiny, tiny region of that space. It was not difficult to look at that discovery and say, oh my God, there must be millions of these things out there. That's what Pluto is. It's part of this population of this new region. That's why it never made sense. That's why it's on this weird orbit. That's why it's small. And then starting in the early 2000s, this survey that I was carrying out, we started finding increasingly larger objects in this region. We found one that was about half the size of Pluto. We're like, and we found a couple that are about 2/3 the size of Pluto. It's like, well, I'm not sure what we're going to do. And then finally, we found this one, Eris, which is 25% more massive than Pluto. And you couldn't sweep it under the rug anymore. At this point, either we were going to have to admit that we really shouldn't have ever called Pluto a planet to begin with, or we were going to have to decide how many of these other things that I'd been discovering get to be part of the planet club too. And strangely enough, I was kind of one of the main proponents of saying all these things I have been discovered. They're great. I love them. They're not planets. It makes no sense to call these a planet. And by the way, Pluto is just one of these things too. And we should just put them all into their own category, which is where they rightly deserve to be.
Okay, so then you became the guy that got rid of Pluto. What was that backlash like? Was there backlash?
Oh yeah. So for years, there were, I got hate mails. I got obscene phone calls. I got just kind of weird online stalkers who yelled at me anytime I appeared anywhere.
And to hear the full conversation with Dr. Mike Brown, listen to this week's episode of our podcast, Off the Radar. Find it anywhere you listen to your podcasts.
The United States military is widely regarded as the most powerful in the world. That proved true in 2003 when U.S. troops captured Saddam Hussein after a 9-month aggressive pursuit for the ousted Iraqi dictator. I spoke with Colonel Michael Keller about Operation Iraqi Freedom and his deployment to the region during this time.
I served for a total of 29 years, and during that time deployed 7 times.
During an overseas deployment to Iraq, Colonel Keller was boots on the ground for the liberation of the Iraqi people. Operation Iraqi Freedom launched in March of 2003.
The unit that I belonged to supported the Marines, the 1st Marine Expeditionary Force.
The U.S.-led coalition aimed to topple Saddam Hussein's regime and end decades of brutal dictatorship. Baghdad quickly fell to U.S. soldiers, but Saddam Hussein escaped and went into hiding.
I was assigned to a team that went to Tikrit, Saddam's hometown.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Colonel Keller lived side by side with the special operations team that ultimately captured Hussein.
We coincidentally lived right next door to the house on the compound that the special operations team lived in. So whenever there was a mission going on, we kind of had an idea when they spun up the helicopters. And oddly, I learned of his capture not through military channels, but through the locals who worked in the dining facility. They spread the rumor throughout the camp.
Hussein was found hiding out in a spider hole on a very rural farm south of Tikrit, where Colonel Keller was stationed.
The hole itself was covered or concealed with a big block of styrofoam and some palm branches and things like that. And so that's that's where the operators found and extracted Saddam from that hole.
Successful operations like Hussein's capture showing the world just how powerful and capable the U.S. military is.
We set the standard for professionalism and for operational integrity and capability, something that soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and now guardsmen work on a regular basis. And my hat's off to all of them.
To the men and women of the United States Armed Forces, thank you for your service. For Amazing America, I'm Taylor Murray with the National News Desk.
And as we head to break, we soar over the shores of Ireland.
Well, a very good Tuesday morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Andrew Buckmichael. We've got some scattered snow showers across portions of the Midwest for the day today. It's going to be a bit of a cold St. Patrick's Day for a lot of the Midwest. Wichita, you're kind of the odd one there, close to 60, while the rest of us are near or below freezing. Got a few more snow showers with a weak clipper sliding through for the day tomorrow, and a little bit of light snow across the lower Great Lakes and Ohio Valley Thursday.
Well, a good Tuesday morning to you. I'm meteorologist Chris Suchan. Look at our forecast today across the region, starting off with definitely a cold start with a freeze for a good chunk of the region, even some areas of a little bit of frost. Afternoon looks really good, especially if you still like it a little on the cooler side, 50s, 60s to 73. And then Wednesday, still a little bit of a chill in the morning. Afternoon, we're going to get a good amount of sunshine. And notice it's also a little warmer across the region, 60s and 70s for highs.
Good Tuesday morning, everybody. I'm meteorologist Stella Sun. An atmospheric river will bring impacts towards the Pacific Northwest. Meanwhile, an area of high pressure will continue to bring sweltering heat for Southern California. Daytime highs reaching 91 degrees later today, nearing that triple-digit mark towards Phoenix. Also seeing that sweltering heat rising towards the Las Vegas area, mainly in the 70s from Boise to Salt Lake, and Seattle, 53 degrees.
You are watching the National Weather Desk.
It's severe weather season, and that means heavy wind. Meteorologist Jeff Exline explains why this time of year is simply so windy.
I often get this question asked, why is it so windy? Well, basically, it's the time of the year, late winter into early spring. And this is a windy time of year because of a big tug of war going on in the atmosphere. A cold air of winter is slowly retreating northward towards the North Pole, while you have warmer air from the south surging northward. The two meet up overhead. You get this big contrast in temperatures from north to south, and that leads to big differences in atmospheric pressure, and that will lead to some gusty winds. That's why late winter into early spring is often a very windy time of year. Now, the jet stream's basically right overhead because of that temperature contrast. Come late spring and early summer, that jet stream will lift into Canada. So when it gets hot outside, we want a breeze, we can't buy one. This time of year, it's just windy.
Well, we'd love to share your weather content on the air. You can find us on all your favorite social media platforms. Just search the National Weather Desk. We'll be right back. And thank you so much for joining us. I'm Angela Brown. Make it a great day, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow.